Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do kind of a 2023, not goals, but since I'm kind of easing myself into the new year, what I want more of this year. So I've been dipping my toe into the world of YouTube Shorts. You may or may not have noticed. I know that it completely depends on how you use YouTube, what app you're on, what device, whatever. I know for a long time I wasn't seeing them at all. And then I was seeing them when I was on my computer, on the desktop, but then never anywhere else. And I realized it was because I was not going to my subscription feed. I was going to my home, and most of the time I was watching on the TV, and it just isn't kind of set up so well to watch YouTube Shorts. It was only recommending to me like long form, regular content. Recently, because now everybody watches on TV, my channel, my profile became the one that everybody watched YouTube on and no one's switched between anything. It got really, really messy with so many different kinds of subscriptions from the kids and from Lee and whatever else. So I just never went on the subscription page because it was mostly stuff that I wasn't interested in. This year, I decided to have a big cull of all of that. I've got rid of all the subscriptions that aren't mine. I've set that as like, this is my profile. You guys can use this profile because I actually want to be able to watch YouTube the way that I used to. And I've done a similar thing on Instagram. Kind of edited out a lot of people who, do I really need to be following these people? I've just kind of collected them along the years. And since these days everything's so oversaturated, I wanted to make sure that I was just following the people that either I was really, really interested in, I really liked those people, or the people that were serving me the content that I was the most interested in. So that's kind of what I've done, number one. And in doing that, now I'm using the subscription page again, I'm noticing the shorts feature, because even when I'm using it on my TV, I'm seeing the little short reviews. I really like this feature. Now I've started using it the way that I have. I just wasn't kind of grasping how I could possibly put this into action, because a minute, I can't even imagine. Someone left me a comment yesterday on a vlog saying I talk too fast, they can't follow me, I needed to do X, Y, Z. Occasionally I get these comments. I'm just not gonna adjust how I communicate. I'm just not. That's just always how I've been. If I was thinking about slowing myself down while I was talking, it would be impossible to stay on topic. I have hard enough time as it is. So I get it. I talk quickly, but I don't talk quickly enough, or I'm not succinct enough to do that in 60 seconds. I found it really, really difficult with any kind of YouTube type review or anything where I was going to be talking you through it as I was doing it. A minute was just not long enough. So what I decided to do instead was do these little mini reviews just kind of to music, and they're just going to be really snappy. Here's the product, here's what it is, and to go alongside that there is a blog post with a full review. On Instagram I'm doing that in the caption. I'm just trying to like test out a new way of doing things. I really missed the beauty blogging phase of this internet thing that I do. I really missed kind of pulling out all of my makeup on a Monday and a Tuesday, testing things out, photographing it, reviewing stuff, playing with it all week, and like deciding what I wanted to mention in longer form videos. And this is kind of how I've brought that back for myself, the blogging, but through these little mini reviews as videos, both on YouTube and on Instagram. So if you've seen that and you've enjoyed it, I really appreciate it. If it's not your thing, I'm gonna continue to put out these little snippy kind of reviews, and anything that I really, really love, it's gonna be caught up in a longer video anyway. With that in mind, I want to bring a little bit more value to the longer videos that I'm making. So let's say we make a beauty haul and it's like, oh, you know, I bought these things. For a long time, it was just ticking a box. I needed a video for that day. I'm gonna make a video. This is an easy video to make. Here are some products. Maybe I'll swatch them. That's kind of the long and the short of it. And haul videos do really, really well. People search for haul videos, and so it's very tempting to just kind of churn them out. Same as Primark videos, which we'll get to, because they're very, very popular, but they're not really giving you any kind of value beyond seeing what's available right now. And you can do that yourself by opening up Boots, Look Fantastic, Sephora, wherever you choose to shop. You can see what's new on the market without having me talk through, you know, these are some of the things that I picked up. So when I do beauty hauls in the future, I'd like to come to you with kind of like mini reviews. I've already tested these products, and just give you a little bit more information or some research behind something that I'm talking about. So the products that I will have talked about in the little mini, or not talked, but shown you in the little mini YouTube Shorts, that might be me testing out a product so that eventually I'm going to show you in a longer video. You're not going to miss anything by not watching those videos, but they'll just be kind of snappier ways of looking at stuff. And the most important part for me is that because I will be referencing them on my blog, you can go to michaela.com and think, oh, did she talk about a foundation from Sephora? You can search Sephora foundation and it is there. More than anything, this way of working is the way that I used to do it back in the day when I was blogging like 7 days a week. And it is when I was the most excited about all of this, the most excited about makeup, the most excited about YouTube, just you're kind of engaged in it all of the time. And so I wanted to try to kind of rediscover that passion. And last week I just started kind of playing around with things. And I thought maybe I'll make a reel. And I made so many reels in 2 days and I was so excited and it was so fun because I was making them and editing them like YouTube videos rather than I'm trying to edit them on an app and I feel like I can't do this, it's not my wheelhouse. I was just using a skill that I already had and turning it to something else, and it feels like the thing that I've been looking for, truthfully. I personally definitely prefer to watch longer videos. I put something on in the background, you know, while I'm doing something. I like at the moment, all morning while I've been doing other things, I've been playing Kelly Gooch is my YouTuber of the moment. I've been watching her, but passively, you know, sometimes I'll go, oh, I think she mentioned this thing, and it would be super useful to have a blog where I could search, I think she mentioned Bare Minerals, I'll search Bare Minerals, see the products that she's got and be like, oh, it was that, this was the product, this was the shade, I can buy there, all the information that I need is in one place, and I don't have to be kind of rewatching videos and being like, oh, well, when did she mention this? So I'm hoping this is going to be the best of both worlds, both for me and for you guys. Now, with that in mind, I'm kind of coming back to a different time in this kind of YouTube review thing that I used to do. I remember this being quite an expensive hobby. So another thing that I would like to focus a little bit more on this year is mindful shopping. I have been thinking about doing kind of a variation of Project Pan. Speaking of Kelly Gooch, she actually did an introduction to Project Pan a few weeks ago, and she talked about how she was giving herself a certain amount of products per item, so per category that she could buy throughout the year, rather than say, you have to use this amount of products up, or you have to use up this before you can buy this. She was giving herself a limit, so kind of like a beauty budget, and let's say she can buy 2 blushes all year. She's going to think a little bit more about that blush because it's 1 of 2. Does she really want to use this up? And I quite like that idea. The second thing that she's doing with the Project Pan is that she has a certain number of products that she's decided she wants to use a certain number of times, which again, these things feel a little bit more achievable. I've never been very good with Project Pan. It's definitely a character flaw that I find it difficult to use something up. I'm not a hoarder in life, but I'm a bit of a beauty hoarder, and I find it hard to finish something. If I get really close to the end of something, I don't want to use it because I don't want it to be finished. So Project Pan is quite a challenge for me. So I quite like the way that she's doing that, and I might copy it, I might. But one of the things that I wanted to do was really assess what I bought last year, how much of it did I really use, how much of it was maybe not a fantastic purchase, and I'm going to share that with you as well. So a little bit more of mindful shopping. Why am I bringing things in? Do I really want these things? Just thinking a little bit more about it, because when you get into beauty reviews and you are looking for new products to talk about all the time with how I used to do things, it's very tempting to go out and want to buy the new all the time, to have new content, but I definitely want to focus more on using what I have. And there's so many products that I have already that I've never talked about, or I've never done an in-depth review, and we can work our way through those before I have to be tempted to, well, maybe I need 14 new lipsticks, because I never need to buy another lipstick for as long as I live. I know Money is so loud in the background. He was being so quiet before I started filming. This is entirely his MO. He's looking at me right now like, how dare you? He was silent, sleeping silently. As soon as Lee comes home, as soon as someone comes in and talks to me, as soon as we're watching something on the TV at night, he gets so loud. Like, it's like you have to turn the TV up. It's like motorbike loud. So as soon as I've started talking to you guys, he's thought, well, I'm not having that. People need to know I'm in the room as well. So apologies. Some people really like it, some people really don't, but I have a snoring dog in the room, and this is where I've set up to film, so. Slow fashion hauls. So I did say we'd get to the Primark of it all. I'm going to continue to do my monthly Primark videos just because I can't not. They are so popular. They are so popular. I do go to Primark very regularly, so I'm not going out of my way just to film these videos. But I do want to be clear, and I do talk about this quite often when I do these kind of shop with me style videos. I shop as a hobby. I shop for fun. My husband and I quite enjoy a trip to Meadowhall. 9 times out of 10, we buy absolutely nothing at all. We'll go at the weekend, we kind of have a look around, we'll have some lunch, we might go to the cinema. There's gonna actually be a new thing launching there that's like, or opening there that's like bowling and stuff, which is really cool. There's an arcade there. Shopping as a hobby for me is not necessarily shopping as in purchasing something, but it is browsing, it is window shopping. So I go to Primark regularly, have a look around, oh, you know, these things are available, and buy absolutely nothing at all. Most of the things that I bought last year in terms of clothing was secondhand. I was obsessed with vintage. If you saw the wedding dresses. I even bought a secondhand item for a friend for their birthday last year, and she reciprocated for Christmas and bought me something secondhand as well. I think the stigma of secondhand things in general is lifting. More and more people are into thrifting. I know that was an unintentional rhyme. I know that people are really into it for like homeware and stuff, but for clothing, you don't see a lot about it. You don't hear a lot about it. The only thing that I can think is you can't have affiliate links on secondhand items. That is the only thing. A lot of people make a lot of money from affiliate links. I am too lazy. I use them, but I'm just not very good with it, and that is not really something like, if we're talking sources of income, it might be 1%. I shopped a lot secondhand last year, but I didn't talk a lot about the things that I purchased. And this year, I want to make a point of sharing more of the things that I've purchased from eBay, Vinted, wherever it might be. And Emma, XM Channel, and I decided that we might try and do a series on this. So we used to have Style at Any Size. We're not together often enough to really do this. We loved it. It was so much fun, but we're trying to think of something that we could do separately and yet together. And we thought that doing kind of a collaborative series on shopping, slow fashion, and things that we found, again, on eBay, Depop, Vinted, wherever it is you shop, or even in like actual charity shops, might be a fun way to do that. So that's something that I'm looking at this year. I think that, it's something that I was already doing, but I think it's something that hopefully you guys will be interested in too. I've already started weekly vlogs over on my vlog channel. I have definitely been more of a daily vlog kind of person in the past, not necessarily every day, but kind of a self-contained day vlog. The reason that I've really aired more towards that is, well, number one, I like the idea of filming and editing a video within one day. I like that kind of like the box is ticked and that video is kind of completed. But also, I do struggle to keep a thread. I am quite scattered, and I think that it's quite tricky for me to remember what I talked about at the beginning of the day, let alone the beginning of the week. So we'll see how it goes. So far, I'm quite enjoying it, but most of the reason that I wanted to do, or most of the reason I wanted to do the weekly vlogs, was that it would give me a little bit more time for editing. I might be able to be a little bit more creative as time goes on, because I'm not rushing to get that video done, kind of like, right, this is done now, this is finished. I can have a little bit more fun with it, and I'm excited to see where that might take me this year. So I'm going to do the weekly vlogs. I'm going to commit to that for a little while, see how I'm feeling about that format. And another thing that I'm going to be doing over on that channel, because I'm just going to have one video a week, is my monthly catch-up. So like monthly catch-up and reflection. Last year I called it YouTube therapy, and I think I did it for a month. So this time last year I was really energized. I was like, well, maybe a little bit earlier than this time last year. I was really like, right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to totally change my content. I'm going to talk more about what I'm interested in. I wanted to talk more about manifesting and all that stuff. I wanted to talk more about like self-help things and topics, all those things, mental health stuff. And I slid very quickly into, at the end of January, what I would say was my first wave of depression, which I didn't recognize that's what it was then. That's when it was the very worst, and I finally got some painkillers for my chronic back pain. If you didn't know, right towards the end of last year, I was prescribed some antidepressants, and I'm kind of like in the bedding in phase, I'm going to call it, of those right now. They're not entirely in effect, but I'm just kind of in the middle of all of the side effects and symptoms. So it wasn't a great time for a lot of last year, in all honesty. I'm, again, going to get into that in some of these videos. But I had a lot of video ideas that I really wanted to do, and I couldn't follow them through. I didn't really have not the strength, but like not even the motivation. I just kind of wanted to take the easiest route. I wasn't prepared for any kind of pushback or any kind of feedback. I just wasn't in the right headspace for it last year. This year, I really want to do it. I want to do a monthly recap. I'm going to talk about kind of the reflecting on what's happened the previous months, maybe some goals for the month ahead. I really want to do that, but I think it's more suited to my vlog channel. So that's what I'm going to do over there. The first one will be at the end of this month. In terms of upload schedule, I really don't know what I'm going to do. I think I might kind of put things out here, there, and everywhere. I'm going to do Friday favorites, but not every single Friday. I'm going to do Sunday shopping, but not every single Sunday. I'm going to just kind of put out a video when I decide to put it out, when I think that I've got something that you guys will enjoy, when I feel that I've got something that I'm really pleased with, rather than I have to have a video on this day, I have to have 3 videos a week. I want to put a little bit more time and effort into the videos that I'm putting out. I've almost been on YouTube for 13 years. In April, it'll be 13 years, which is absolutely crazy. So I so appreciate those of you who've stuck with me, especially because I've been so all over the place in terms of content for the last few years. I've just not really found my place of this is what I want to do. So I'm so happy to have found this kind of new energy for what I was originally doing, which is so funny. Probably what I should have done was taken like a really long break at the point where I was like, I'm kind of over talking about makeup all the time now, and just come back to it, because I've just kind of had that like crisis in front of you all and gone, what is it I'm gonna do? When maybe I just needed a break and I could have come back, and I was just burned out on everything that I talked about for 10 years. But I'm really excited about 2023 now. I'm obviously still kind of like this internally on the emotional scale, but in terms of like YouTube and stuff, really happy. And yeah, thanks for continuing to join me. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.